live?
We're back.
What's
Took
up,
a couple of weeks, but we're back, baby. We are so effing back.
Yeah.
Some things have changed. I think we
The
have
Last
someone
of Us
who's
has gotten married. So
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Death of a bachelor. Another one bites the dust. I was telling Julia that she was like, "What song are you gonna play when you walk out for the wedding?" And those are the two songs that I told her. She didn't find it very funny. No, it was. I have to say, our wedding was fantastic. It was beautiful on the flight to our honeymoon in Hawaii. That's what we talked about. We were like, man, can't you say we had a beautiful wedding? Because there's always those nerves of like, what, oh my God, something could go wrong. And it was just absolutely perfect on every single level. I had a blast. It was a night to remember, obviously, forever. And then the honeymoon was great. We went to Maui, spent a little less than a week there. And it was just extremely special. So that changed. That was a huge change in my life. But I'll tell you something that didn't change. That's the fucking Raiders. They continue to spoil themselves.
Oh, man. Yeah.
But it's good to be back, boys. It's good to be back.
Yeah. Some things change, but some things just stay the same, don't they? The Raiders take L's. The Niners keep getting injured. And some things definitely stay the same, man. Oh, my God. So you brought it up. The Raiders kept losing, kept pissing you off. They traded away Jacoby Myers also to Jacksonville. And then Jacksonville handed you a loss in overtime as well. Right as you were getting married. So that was fun. And that was an overtime loss. And then they turn around and lose 10-7 at Denver on the Thursday night game while you were on your honeymoon. So let's just talk about the Raiders last couple of weeks. Anything you want to add to that, to the story of your team?
I mean, I did prepare a little bit. Overall, all I could say is that it's an absolute disappointment. The whole season's been a disappointment. 3 games you should have won. The Chicago Bears, you should have beat the Chicago Bears. You couldn't get the kickoff. It gets blocked. That's how the game ends. So you give that game away. You're at home. The fans are there for you. They're cheering for you, and you soil yourself. You can't get the kickoff. You should have beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. You missed the opening field goal on your opening touchdown drive. You missed the extra point. And as soon as that happened, guys, I said, that's going to be the difference in the game. And sure enough, I went full Oracle, and it was. Forcing the offense to go for a 2-point conversion. The offense did their job. They marched down the field. They get a touchdown. They have to go for 2 points. And I totally agree with the call. Go for the win. Don't go for the tie, because the tie does nothing, because the whoever scores next wins. You just go for the win. They didn't get it. It gets blocked at the line of scrimmage. What sucks about that play, the Raiders had like 3 guys wide open on that play. And unfortunately, the Jaguars player made a hell of a defensive play. They get the win, but that's a game that you should have won. You shouldn't have missed an extra point. You had enough opportunities to put that game away. You gave that one away. And then you're in Denver on a short week. You get the Ashton Genty touchdown, and that's all you get. You miss the field goal with Daniel Carlson, which was it 44, 45 yards or something like that. In today's modern NFL, that's essentially a chip shot. That should have been an automatic field goal. He missed it, and special teams coach gets fired after the game due to this. You see on the sidelines, Tom McMahon, the special teams coordinator, and Pete Carroll getting into it. Too little, too late. I know more heads are going to roll in the coming weeks, and then the off season, there's going to be a lot of turnover. But it's too little, too late. Those are 3 wins, guys, that could have put this team at 5-4. 5-4 feels a hell of a lot different than 2-7. At 5-4, okay, maybe you're still on the outside looking in. Maybe you don't think of yourself as a legit playoff contender, but you're hoping, can he keep it interesting? Can we just sneak in and get into a wild card and you get into the playoffs? Who knows what happens, right? It just feels different. You could see the building blocks of, okay, they beat the Jaguars, they beat the Broncos. They're closing out games. You could see the positives. At 2-7, there are no positives. The sky is falling again. And if you go onto the Raider boards, the Reddit, the YouTubers, the people in the streets are calling for Pete Carroll's job already. And I'm not advocating for that. The worst thing that this franchise could do is fire the general manager and fire the head coach. Do I think there needs to be changes? Absolutely. Not all the blame is on Pete Carroll and the front office. The offensive line is terrible. I mean, just historically terrible. Somehow, this offense is worse than what Luke Getsy did last season. It's worse. That I never would have expected this offense to be worse under Chip Kelly and Pete Carroll, their coaching. And then you add the number one running back in college football. You spend that draft capital on Ashton Genty. And I wasn't like saying Geno Smith is an MVP candidate, but if he played as a top 15, if he was just mediocre, this Raiders team's a 5-4 team, and he has not been even mediocre. He's been awful. He's been like bottom third in the league with the amount of interceptions he has thrown. And some of them are not his fault. Some of them are absolutely his fault with bad reads and bad throws. So yeah, there's always the interceptions that bounces off a guy's hands, and that's unfortunate. We saw that last week. Genty should have caught a pass. It bounced off. It turns out to be a pick. Unfortunately, it's a pick. It's a stat line that goes on the quarterback. But there's 3 wins that they should have won, guys. Absolutely should have won. And then there's a handful of games where they didn't even get off the bus. I thought that was going to be a thing of the past where you're just laying down and getting blown out. Ultimately, the offensive line is garbage. The special teams has regressed massively. That was always something of a strength for the Raiders. Even in the down years, they've always produced really good special teams. They have not done that. Offensively, I did not expect them to be this bad. I thought they were going to be somewhere in the middle of the road. And their defense has been, I admit their defense has been up and down, but their defense showed out against the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos, it was a 10-7 game. And the Raiders against the Broncos, it was nothing but a short field in the first half. Like they were averaging the ball at midfield. You couldn't even get field goal points. Like you score 2 field goals, you win the game, and you couldn't even do that. So it's just a clusterfuck. Heads are going to roll. I think I've seen enough. It's really hard to judge because the offensive line is so bad. There's no legit number one wide receiver. I know you got Brock Bowers, but the reason why I'm going to say Chip Kelly needs to go is because you're not even feeding Ashton Genty. Just in so many games, give him the ball 3 straight times. Give him, there's been so many games he's averaging 4.5 yards a carry throughout the game. Give him the ball 3 times. Give him the ball 20 straight times. He's he's there for a reason. And then when Brock Bowers is healthy, you don't even target Brock Bowers. It's mind-boggling that you only really have 2 weapons on offense, and you go to Trey Tucker. You game plan that Trey Tucker's your legit number 1 option. Like you're going to outsmart these defensive coordinators by going to Trey Tucker. Like the reason why Brock Bowers fell to the Raiders was because of the injury. If he was healthy, he was going to be a top 5 pick. That's how good he is. He fell because of the injury, and you see the weapon that Brock Bowers is. You spend all the money, you spend all the capital in the draft to get Ashton Genty, and you don't even feed him the ball. Like, who cares about how many carries? He's 22, 23 years old. He's in the prime of his life. Feed him. This is the only blue chippers you have, and you don't do nothing. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's just absolutely disappointing. I've seen enough of Chip Kelly, because it's not even that the talent level. This offensive line should be better. The run game should be better. You're not even targeting. You're not even scheming stuff up. If you're this creative as a play caller, if Kyle Shanahan had the same players, he would scheme stuff up. He would scheme guys open. And I'm not seeing that. And that's why I have had enough of Chip Kelly, because he's not even scheming guys open. And I mean, look, Brian Daboll just got fired, and he had Jackson Dart looking like a decent player. I know he got concussed, but the Giants offense was putting up points. Their defense was trash. They blew leads, but their offense put points on the board. We can't even do that. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy that we got a couple of guys and we can't even scheme those two guys to get 100 yards running and 100 yards receiving for your two offensive guys. No one else matters because none of them can do anything. So it's mind-boggling, guys.
Amen. All right.
I mean, I don't have any issues towards that. I think watching that game, man, outside of what I had to watch on Monday night, it was hard to watch on Thursday. It was very hard to watch.
Yeah.
I think I was giving you play-by-play while you were
you did
over in the island. So, it was tough times.
Yeah. Okay. So the Niners win. The Niners, they get the win against the Giants, and then they lose pretty handily against the Rams. So they fall to 3-1 inside the division. So Michael Williams suffered an ACL tear late in the game against the Giants. So we keep that little streak going of major injuries to defensive players. So they acquired defensive end Keon White from New England before the trade deadline. They also added Cleveland Farrell, former Raider, former 49er. They added him back, and then he ended up playing against in both games, the Giants and the Rams. So Eddie Pinheiro was named was the NFC Special Teams Player of the month of October. So that's cool. Get a reliable kicker. That's nice. We like that. Ricky Pearsall, after the Rams game, they announced that he's going to be ramping up practice this upcoming week. So reinforcements are coming. That's great. We love to hear that. Unfortunately, the reinforcements that are coming, they're not on the defensive side of the ball. That's where the problems are coming. That's where the problems are. Rookie defensive tackle Alfred Collins sustained a hip injury during Thursday's practice, and he was unavailable for the Rams game. He was the hero of the first Rams game in Week 5. He's the one that made that game-saving tackle that secured the win. Bryce Huff still wasn't playing in either of those games. Kalia Davis, Keon White had a groin injury. The guy that they traded for that just got here 10 days ago. Linebacker Tatum Bethune, D. Winters had a knee injury and a knee injury. On the injury report, it said knee, and that's not a typo. So you had knee injuries on both knees. It's a little weird to see that on the injury report, but it's not a typo. It's actually it's weird when you see it, but it's not unheard of. In fact, quarterback Mac Jones had the exact same thing for the last 2 weeks. So Jesus Christ, man. Unfortunately for this Rams game, so we'll talk specifically about the Rams game. The Giants game is long in the past. We don't even care anymore. So the Rams game, it began with a punt, a fumble, and a turnover on downs. So you look up at the scoreboard, and you're already down 21-0. All right. So George Kittle had the quote basically about that. Our team is going to have to rely on a really good veteran offense to score a lot of points and not turn the ball over. And we didn't really do that today. That's the quote. That's what the Niners are going to have to do going forward. The Niners defense looks gassed at this point. We talk about the reinforcements that are coming back, but most of those guys, they're coming back on the offense. The defensive guys that we've lost, most of those guys are gone for the season. Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, they're not walking through that door. Okay. So the game plan is you hold the ball, don't turn it over, limit possession time for the opposition, score points, and make sure those points touchdowns or really, really long drives. If you're going to only get field goals, make sure that those are 10-minute drives. So that's going to be the key to winning going forward. They still have a pretty cake schedule, unfortunately. They're probably going to end up being like 10-7. They're going to sneak into the wild card, lose in the first round. And that's going to be the end of the season, unfortunately, because this schedule is so cake, because Shanahan is such a brilliant play caller, strategist, schemer. They're just that good offensively that they're going to be able to sneak in probably. And the schedule is that, much of a cakewalk that I've been talking about, harping on all season. They're going to end up sneaking into the playoffs probably and not do much with it. Not going to be able to do much with it because they're going to just be a little bit overmatched against the 2 seed, or if they're able to just by luck end up being against the 3 seed. Because I just that's I don't know. I don't know how it's going to break down by the end of it, but I don't see them doing anything much more than that at this point. It's going to be a hell of a shot. It's going to take a hell of a miracle at this point. But of course, when the time comes, of course I'm going to pick them because that's who I am. I'm ever the optimist. So until it's officially impossible for them to win the Super Bowl, I'm going to pick them to win the Super Bowl. But I'm just putting this out there right now. The realist knows what's going to happen, but the optimist is still, Niners going to the Super Bowl. We're still winning the whole fucking thing. Fuck every single one of you who doubt us. Okay, so just for the record, there are inside me there are 2 wolves, and they won't stop banging each other right now. I don't know, man. They dear God. Okay. All right. Jesus Christ. That's basically all I got right now. Things are rough over here in Niners country. Tyler, go ahead and you had a bye and then you had a win. Go ahead and brag, bud.
Oh, you're muted, dude.
I said
Tyler's
I'm pretty
on the
much
bye week.
I'm pretty much in first place, 7-2. I think the magic number is at 4, so I think that division is all but wrapped up at this point. I think the Eagles are, while they're granted they have one of the hardest schedules remaining, you can get 4 wins. I did say that this year you needed 12. I still think that 12 will get you probably in a higher seed here, but looking at, what we got down the pipeline, I mean, the Lions are 6-3, the Bucks are 6-3, the Panthers are 5-5, which is amazing, by the way. The Seahawks and the Rams are 7-2. So at this point, I think you're going to have to get 13, 14 wins to get that first seed in the NFC here. So I have my issues with Kevin Petula. Like, he looked great against the Giants, especially the game that I went to where we got this beautiful flag behind us here, our towel, I should say. But man, that offense just looked horrible. I don't understand why you can't scheme open Saquon Barkley, AJ Brown. I mean, Devontae Smith had a touchdown that pretty much won the game. Actually, did win the game. But there's no reason, there's no excuse as to why you can't scheme to get any of these guys open. I mean, we're 10 weeks into it. Granted, we've only played 9 weeks of games here, but it's kind of, I think, criminal at this point. I think Kevin Petula, I don't know if he's going to be the offensive coordinator next year. I think there's people that were high on him for the last 2 games, and then we're back on that train of just mediocrity is pilfering this Eagles offense. The defense looks amazing. Jalen Phillips looks amazing. He had like 3 pressures, had a sack, had a turnover. Absolute stud of a pickup there. the news that broke today is that Jair Alexander is stepping away from the Eagles that we just traded for him, and he's contemplating on possibly retiring, which is crazy because we already had a player retire mid-season already in Zadarius Smith too. So wild that could possibly happen twice in one season, but I think the Eagles, depth-wise, I mean, there's Jacorian Bennett is now coming off the injury. Thank you, Sam, for Jacorian Bennett. It's his opportunity to get that quarterback position again. He's had 3 chances. He beat Ringo out at the beginning of the season and then got hurt and then came back, had a chance to take it again and then got hurt again. So it looks like his practice window's opened up. He should be available for the next game. I would assume he would be probably starting over, if not, cornerback 1 off the bench. So we'll see. I mean, there's still plenty of games to go this season. I like my chances. I like where we're at right now. I can't be upset. I'll see you guys in the playoffs.
Yeah, upcoming schedule. You're playing Sunday night football against the Lions. You're hosting the Lions. The Raiders are playing Monday night football, hosting the Cowboys, and the Niners are traveling to Arizona. They have a 1:05 start time for locally.
Guys, this is how depressed I am. I don't know if I don't see another win for the Raiders. Like that's how doom and gloom I feel. I don't it's hard for me to see another win for this team. Like maybe Cleveland, maybe Dallas, but I don't know.
I mean, Dallas's defense is so bad. Like their defense is so bad, but the offense is so good. So like,
and that's what I'm saying is like, even if the Raiders show up, like I don't even know if I think their highest points on the season is 30.
You don't think they're going to win on December 14th?
No.
They're playing December 14th. I don't know. I'm not looking at
that. They play the Eagles.
Okay. I see what you did there.
No.
I'm excited for the Sunday, man. The Lions game is a big game. They talked a lot of crap, and I would not be shocked if some shots go to Amon St. Brown though after his antics last weekend towards the man in the press box that was watching the game in the Commanders game. So wouldn't be shocked if there's some people that are pretty upset with Amon St. Brown right now. But hey,
Amon-Ra St. Brown, the sun god. Yeah.
Yep. So looking forward to it, man. I can't wait.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Okay, so let's just a couple of notes about the NFL in general. Sauce Gardner did get traded from the Jets to the Colts for 2 first-round picks. A.D. Mitchell also went back to the Jets in exchange, and then wide receiver Rashid Shaheed. I can't talk right now. Went to the Seahawks, and then Brian Daboll got fired as well. So that's that is an offensive minded coach that could be available should somebody want to pick up the tab there. Okay, so with that said, I think let's move over to basketball. We got some NBA news in general before we talk specifically about the Warriors. Breaking news today: Dallas fired general manager Nico Harrison 9 months after the Luka Doncic trade. A little bit late for that, don't you think? He held on to that job a little bit longer than he should have after that move. He should have been gone before. Dumb, just dumb. That is a fireable offense, and I can't believe he held on to the job 9 months after that. Terrible.
Terrible.
Well, it's just crazy.
You trade a game this season.
He's already hurt again. So
I know, that's what I'm saying. But did he even play?
He played 2 games. So you traded a guy. You traded a guy in his prime for a guy over the hill center past his 30s. Who thought that was going to be a great idea? Yeah, sure. You got the number 1 pick, which there's no way in hell that wasn't a collusion. But still, what a stupid move. And now they're talking about trading Klay Thompson. They're saying he's not working out very well in the system. They're thinking about what can they get for Anthony Davis. You're already blowing up this team. It's crazy. Like, what are we doing?
Just trade Cooper Flag, bro.
Just trade him too. You know?
Yeah. Well, Nico Harrison's not around to do that anymore. So I'll tell you what though, if who was the owner? I'm blanking on it.
Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban. He's not the main owner anymore. He's just a minority owner now. He's not really the guy in charge anymore. So if he was the guy that was actually in charge still, like I think Nico Harrison would have been like he wouldn't have even had the chance to trade away Luka Doncic. Like he would have.
No, that would have been shut down. That never would have.
He would have shut that down right away. Like that does not happen. Nico Harrison would have been fired like immediately. Like
the only way that could happen in somebody who's thinking clearly is hypothetically that season Luka gets a catastrophic injury and he comes back the following year and he's just not the same and he gets hurt again, or he's 60 pounds overweight. Like there has to be like some clear evidence that this guy is not dedicated to basketball and he's not going to be the centerpiece of a franchise. And being in LA, he has shown the complete opposite. You don't trade a superstar. I don't even think he's 25. Isn't he like hella young? Isn't he still, or like just barely turned 25?
I think he just turned 25.
Yeah.
So,
it's bad.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's that. So we got to give a shout out, rest in peace to Lenny Wilkens. He was, all-time great. He was so 26, he was Lenny Wilkens was so great. He was inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame thrice for those of you on the YouTube. Once as a player, once as a coach, and once as part of the staff that coached the 1992 Dream Team. Okay, so just all-time great legend. We just had to shout him out as well. So R.I.P. To one of the goats. And so just one more. Let's turn our attention to the gambling situation.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, Draymond actually came out defending Adam Silver a little bit. He had a quote on his podcast. So he said, you go to any sport, any organization, anything, there's bad apples everywhere, but let's not try to act like Adam Silver has just built this league and does not care about people gambling. And because there's a Fanatic Sportsbook, a DraftKings, a FanDuel sponsorship, that Adam just doesn't care about players gambling. Like, stop the bullshit, cut it out. We watch these gambling videos every year. They're on top of this stuff.
But my issue with this is that it's not that, we're obviously we're referencing to Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups, right? So my issue isn't that Chauncey Billups ran a gambling poker scheme. I don't care that that's some crazy shit on its own, but he wasn't like betting on games, right? Yeah. Where like Terry Rozier, my issue with this is that they have been working with the federal agencies to hone this down. So you've known about this for well over a year and you still let Terry play. You know what I mean? Like what seems like to me is that Adam Silver was trying to, sweep it under the rug and hopefully it wouldn't come to fruition. Unfortunately, it did. It blew up in his face. But I think he was just trying to be like, all right, Terry, we won't punish you. Just stop betting on games. Like, we know that we're watching you. Like, stop, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that that's what people get upset is that if you've known about this a whole entire year and it's your league, you should have taken action immediately and say, hey, look, we're suspending Terry Rozier for indefinitely upon review of gambling. Like, don't wait. You've known a whole year. Do it immediately. Because now it looks like a sore spot as you being a commissioner.
I mean, with that specifically too, Tyler, the bets look suspicious. So like, when this guy, when the buddy is winning on all these weird parlay bets, where there's smoke, there's fire. It doesn't take it doesn't take a commissioner to figure out that there's something going on. Like any normal person could figure out there's something fishy going on.
Right.
And my thing is the leagues, all the leagues took the money. They took the money from all of these gambling sites. You put the NFL, you put hockey, other sports are coming into Las Vegas, and then you're like, look, but don't touch. Live here, buy houses here, play here, invest in anything that you want, but just don't gamble. Don't do it. Where we know players gamble because we hear it all the time about players on the airplane playing poker, players in the locker room playing Texas Hold'em. We hear the stories about players gambling all the time, and to think that these guys aren't going to gamble on sports, they're going to do it. And then the league is taking the money, and then you're asking them not to take the money, and then you're putting these athletes to be the spokesman of MGM and this fantasy thing and that fantasy thing and this prop bet and that, they're going to gamble.
Yeah,
they're going to gamble.
I mean, we might as well talk about it because I don't see it's in our notes too, but because it's around the same subject. Emmanuel Clase for the Guardians, and I forget the other pitcher,
Right.
but
Yeah,
that's also a crazy one too. I mean, he was literally getting paid to throw the first pitch into the dirt. You know what I mean? So, and he's facing up to 65 years, both of them. That's insane.
That's crazy.
It wasn't worth it,
No, not at all. I mean, all of these guys, right? What was Terry Rozier's contract was millions of dollars.
And you took like
now
12 grand
gone for what? 10, 20, 30, 50, I mean, even $100,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if it was $500,000, you're guaranteed 60, 70, 80 million, and you risk
and let's not forget
500,000.
He was playing in Miami. There's no sales tax.
So I agree with Charles Barkley. It was stupid. It's straight stupid. But again, you're putting the cookie jar in front of these guys, and you say, don't put your hand in the cookie jar.
Yeah.
So and to add these the gambling like sites, they're catching them too. Like they're the ones that flagged it. Let's not forget that. They're
going to the league.
They're going to the league saying, "Hey, this looks kind of odd," because they're trying to. They're not looking out for the people that are making these bets. They're trying to make their cut. They're trying to take you, the gambler, for that. They're trying to make money off of you. Let's not forget that as well. Okay, so the house always wins, right? Don't forget that. All right, they're trying to make their nut. All right, so just if you're gonna gamble, just bets, remember that
these companies that host these websites, they don't want players doing this because it's affecting them.
Exactly.
They don't want to pay out. So if you're an athlete and you're gambling and you got the homeboys doing this for you, you got, all your bros, come on, bro, put a bet for me. I'm going to throw a pitch in the dirt. I'm going to miss my free throw or whatever. They're going to catch you. They're going to catch you. Like, it's not worth it. But at the same time, you're a young athlete. You're surrounded by money, by luxury, by beautiful women, by whatever, right? There's a lot of lust. There's a lot of temptation, and you're putting all of these things in front of a human being. At some point, people are gonna break and cave in. And I'm not saying every single person, but that temptation comes across these guys' minds. They're human. And when the leagues, all of them, when you get into bed with this situation, you're going to have more of it. And this is not going to be the end of it. It's going to happen to the NFL. It's going to happen to MLB as it's already happening. It's going to happen.
Sounds like it's happening in soccer as well. Like in Turkey, I think there's like a huge, like they basically shut down an entire league almost. It sounds like it's
Right.
just like
It's gonna
happening
happen
right now. It's crazy. Anyway,
So
yeah,
we're going to be
okay,
talking about this for years to come, because as long as these leagues are on the take and you're putting your athlete as the spokesman, they're going to do it.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about the Warriors specifically. They have played 8 games since we last talked. They have gone 4-4 over those last 8 games. So they get a win. They get wins over Memphis and the Clippers at home. They take 2 losses at Milwaukee, at Indiana. Then they
Which,
come
by
home.
the way, both of those teams, Milwaukee and Indiana, did not have their star players. So Giannis was not playing, and obviously Tyrese Halliburton is rehabbing. So to lose those games it's a sting.
Guys, the Indiana Pacers, that's their only win on the season.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say that was an especially egregious loss. Then to start this week, they get the win at home against Phoenix on Tuesday. They go up the road to Sacramento. They take a loss. They didn't have Steph, Jimmy, or Dre in that game. They go to out to Denver for the NBA Cup game. They lose horribly on Friday in Denver. Then they get the win against Indiana on Sunday. They're currently sitting 6-5, 7th in the West. They're playing as we speak.
They're getting blown out,
and they're getting blown out. The second quarter is almost done. They're down 21. Make it 23 as Chet Holmgren goes to the cup. Oh yeah. So they're playing in OKC right now with about a minute left to go in the second quarter, and it's not looking pretty for this game. So they'll probably fall to 6-6. So upcoming games after this OKC game, they're going to San Antonio on Wednesday, and then they're playing San Antonio again on Friday, but that game will be an NBA Cup game, and then they're playing at New Orleans on Sunday. And so
I also want to talk about, like, this is such a brutal stretch of games because the league really likes the Warriors, and the Warriors Steph Curry makes them a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like, to have this many games and this many back-to-backs to start the season on a team that's plus 30 on average as far as age goes, I think that was just criminal for the people who made the schedule this year.
And this is Steph Curry's first game back after missing the last 3 because of an illness as well. So yeah, it's just kind of rough. So I don't love this. I don't love this right now. I want to see him do better than this.
Wait, how many back-to-backs have we had? 4 already?
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
I'd have to look at the schedule.
It's just ridiculous, man.
It's rough.
Ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, look, we're getting another one. OKC today, and then San Antonio tomorrow. Like, that's absolutely brutal.
Yeah, Memphis and the Clippers was a back-to-back as well. Then you had the Phoenix Sacramento was a back-to-back. And then like you said, we got OKC San Antonio as a back-to-back. So that's 3 of them right here. Just right here, happening in these last 2 weeks, basically.
Yeah. And Horford's not going to probably play tomorrow. If he's not playing tonight, he's not going to play tomorrow. That's brutal. Criminal.
Okay. All right. So let's switch gears to hockey. We're going to talk Sharks, but I just want to add one note about hockey in general. The Professional Women's Hockey League did unveil the name and logo for the expansion teams in Seattle and Vancouver. They are going to be the Seattle Torrent and the Vancouver Golden Eyes. I think the Seattle Torrent logo looks a lot better than the Vancouver Golden Eyes one, but also, they're not going to be the teams that I'm cheering for. So, just waiting for the teams to get a little closer to home before I pick mine, because right now I'm just going to be a casual watcher until we get a local team. So, yeah.
I also heard there's a professional women's baseball team in San Francisco.
There is, yes. So that starting in 2026, so next season, there's going to be 4 professional women's baseball teams. They're going to be based in New York and Boston, and then San Francisco and Los Angeles. But they're all going to, in 2026, they're going to be playing at a neutral site, and then in 2027, I believe, is when they're going to actually be playing at their home sites. And there may actually be like a barnstorming type tour happening in 2026 as well. I'm not entirely sure on that, but more to comment on that, and I'll keep my eyes out on that. As the dude who follow women's sports, I definitely make a promise to keep my eye out on that. So let's talk Sharks specifically, though. So ever since Coach Ryan Warsofsky offered up one of his kids for sacrifice, the Sharks are 7-3-1. So they've been getting
The
some
hell with them
dubs.
kids.
Yeah, F them kids. Hail Satan, let's go, baby. No, seriously. So
You
they
can always make new kids, dude.
that's
You can't
right. You
have
can always
more
have
wins.
another kid, right?
You just always have a new kid. You could even adopt.
Yeah, that's right. You can adopt, don't shop, right? No. Oh no. Okay. So seriously though, okay. They've had a few games though. Since we last talked, they lose 4-3 versus the Kings. But they in that game they were down 3-0. They get 3 goals to tie it up, but then they give up the game winning goal late. The final shot score, shot totals though, Sharks had 41 shots on the board to LA's 14. So that was a really brutal way to lose that one. They followed that game up though with a 5-2 victory versus the New Jersey Devils. Speaking of the Devils,
such a crazy stretch.
Yeah, crazy stretch. Eklund, Kurashev, Wenberg, Smith, and Toffoli all score goals. And that was the first home win of the season, and it came in the Heritage 2.0 sweaters. So that was pretty sweet to see that happen. And then they followed that game up with a 3-2 overtime victory versus Colorado. Kurashev had 2 goals, including the overtime winner, and Celebrini had a goal in that one as well. And then on Sam's wedding day, they lose in the shootout to Detroit, but Skinner and Dickinson both had a goal in the third period to tie it, to send it to overtime and then the shootout. And then Ned had 30 of 32 saves, so that was huge. He was huge in that game. Then they get the 6-1 victory up in Seattle. Celebrini, Cardwell, Klingberg, Smith, Delandria, and Toffoli all had goals. That's right. We had a slumber party. The slumber party trio get their goals in the same game. Askey had 29 of 30 in saves, so that's a 967 save percentage. Excuse me. You get the 2-1 victory over Winnipeg. Celebrini and Smith get the goals there. Ned had 32 of 33 in saves. So the goalie's playing a lot better. The defense playing a lot better. Then you get the victory 3-1 over Florida. Celebrini, Gaudette, and Wenberg with the goals there. Askey 38 of 39 saves, 974 save percentage. So those numbers are getting a lot better. So as it stands, going into this game that they're playing as we speak, 7 wins, 6 losses, 3 overtime losses. That's 17 points. 5th in the Pacific as play started today. 10th in the West, 22nd overall in the NHL. We don't need to talk about that anymore, though, because we're not looking for bottom of the barrel at the moment. They didn't lose a game last week, so everybody got the point. Got their win of the week last week. We didn't even have to ask.
I mean, the games that we did actually pick, we all picked what we thought might be a little bit easier wins. They ended up losing those and started beating the damn good teams. So maybe I got to change my strategy up here.
Yeah, I know, right? Maybe they're gonna play up to the competition a bit. Instead of trying to look for the cherry picking ones, we gotta maybe pick smarter. A little bit. Start looking at the guys that maybe, just start looking at other factors besides who's the easy dub.
Yeah.
Up next
we have We have Minnesota, Calgary, and Seattle.
Well, they're playing. The Minnesota game is
Minnesota's
happening right now as we speak. It's
Can't pick that
0-0.
one.
The second period has started. They're so we're not going to look at that one. So it's either Calgary or Seattle. Both of those games are on the road. Calgary is on Thursday. Seattle is on Saturday. Who do you guys want?
I'll let Sam go first since it was his wedding.
Let me see the schedule real quick.
Calgary or Seattle?
Calgary is currently last place in the
I'll
Pacific.
take Calgary, yeah.
All right.
I'm taking Seattle.
Okay,
They
so
beat the brakes off of them.
And I, you know what? I am going to I'll cherry pick this time. I'll go Calgary as well. So there you go. There is our win of the week segment. Okay. All right, so let's switch gears, switch over to the pitch. There were 3 games for our boys across the pond in Wrexham. Tyler, go ahead and start talking real quick. Give me a word.
Yeah, so they get 2 wins out of the 3 games here. Draw one of them, so you still get a point here. Well, yeah, I mean, technically kind of do, but still, 3-2 versus Coventry City. You get a hat trick from Kiefer Moore in the 60th, 69th, and the 83rd minutes.
Nice.
Yeah, so I would tell you right now, things are looking good. Wrexham is starting to turn the page here. All those doomers and people glooming here. We were sitting at like 18th, and now we're sitting 13th in the EFL here. So 5, 6, and 4 with 21 points here. What can you say, man? I mean, Parkey just gets it done. I think he's a good motivator and is able to get those guys to play good quality soccer out there. So
he knows the perfect amount of F-bombs to drop in the locker room.
Yeah, it's basically having Gordon Ramsay as your head coach, if I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oof. Sharks just gave up a goal. Sorry.
Well, good thing we didn't bet on that one. So up next, oh gosh, I'm gonna murder this name. Ipswich
Town.
Okay.
Ipswich Town. Yeah.
So we'll have that game this next Saturday?
It's next Saturday. We're on the international break right now. So we got a couple of weeks before the next game. So international break.
Yeah. I'm gonna be ready. I'll watch that one on Saturday. I think I'm gonna be my wife's gonna be out of the country, so I guess I get to wake up at 7 a.m. and not have to worry about waking her up in the morning. I can make as much noise as I want.
There you go. Okay. All right. So while we were away, U.S. women's national team closed up their international break. They get the 6-0 win versus New Zealand in Kansas City. Defender Kennedy Wesley, she plays for San Diego Wave FC. She made her U.S. women's national team debut, starting at right center back. She's the 25th player to make her debut in the last 28 games under Emma Hayes. She said she was going to turn over the roster and get a lot of players a chance, and God damn it, she's done that. Okay, so the game itself, Emma Sears had a hat trick. She scored in the 8th, 55th, and 84th minutes. Kat Macario had a brace, 34th and 66th minutes. And then Rose Lavelle chipped in her own goal. She had that goal was an absolute screamer from just outside the 18-yard box as well. Upcoming, the next window is going to be the end of November and the beginning of December. Both of those games will be in Florida against Italy. So look out for that. On to the men's side of the U.S. soccer, you have midfielder Tyler Adams had to withdraw from the upcoming friendlies due to an injury sustained while playing with his club team AFC Bournemouth. Midfielder Sean Zawadski also had to withdraw due to injury. So LAFC midfielder Timmy Tillman has been added as a late replacement. I can totally speak, guys. Christian Pulisic, Chris Richards, Tim Weah, Malik Tillman, Anthony Robinson, and other mainstays have already been omitted from the latest roster. All are managing, recovering, or sidelined by injuries. Weston McKinney is also working his way back into form at Juventus under the new head coach, so he was left off the roster this time as well. So what this means is guys like Gio Reyna. This is going to be his last chance to impress Pochettino. This also goes for Ricardo Pepi, who's back for the first time in a year after knee and muscle injuries. So the coaching staff is prioritizing players' long-term health over, their presence in camps this fall. He's basically betting that the multi-week pre-World Camp Cup in late May and early June is going to be enough time for the players to gel ahead of the tournament. So we'll see how that goes. So the upcoming schedule for the men's this week, you have November 15th versus Paraguay in Chester, Pennsylvania. And then you have November 18th versus Uruguay in Tampa, Florida. And there's rumors swirling about the next upcoming friendlies in March.
Okay.
So the rumor is it's going to be Portugal and Belgium the end of March in Atlanta. Now those are not confirmed yet because Portugal and Belgium have to qualify for the World Cup, and both of those nations can do that in this November window. If both of those nations qualify for the World Cup in this window, then those will be the nations that U.S. men's national team will face in at the end of March. If they don't, then who knows? But basically, if they handle business, then we'll see them probably, and they'll announce that after this window closes is the rumor. So your boy's been digging deep, trying to find all the nuggets of what of the rumors and stuff. So we'll see what happens there. Okay, so we're gonna switch gears to the NWSL. I got a new logo, boys. Go ahead and hit us with it, Tim. Hit it. Okay, we're going. Okay. Because Bay FC's season is done, I decided to switch it up for an NWSL logo. But we do want to talk real quickly about Bay FC's final game. They did lose that match 1-0 to Racing Louisville, but Caprice Didasco did complete the Iron Woman for 2025. That means that she played every goddamn minute of the regular season. So congrats to her. She's one of five players. One of five players in the entire league to do that. It's very impressive. The other four are Claudia Dickey of the Seattle Reign. She's a goalkeeper, by the way. Taylor Mollum from Chicago Stars, Kaylee Kurtz, NC Courage, and Kate Del Fava of the Utah Royals. So the next match for Bay FC is 2026. The season is done for them. They didn't make the playoffs this year. But we do know for the next game for a couple of other teams in 2026. We know that the expansion teams coming in, Boston Legacy and Denver Summit, their first home openers. Boston Legacy is going to host on March 14th, and they're going to host it at Gillette Stadium.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And we know that Denver Summit, they're going to host at whatever the hell they're calling the Denver NFL Stadium on March 28th. So they're going to try to, they're moving from baseball stadiums to football stadiums now to try to make big impact, try to top the 40,000 that Bay FC just put up at Oracle Park, I think, is the idea, I believe. So NWSL playoffs, though, we did have a major upset. KC Current, the number 1 seed, cruised the entire year. They lose to the 8th seeded Gotham FC in the first round of the playoffs. Chaos League went full Chaos League right off the bat. The other matchups in the playoffs, Washington, Portland, and Orlando all handled their business. That means that in the semifinals, all 4 of the last champions are going to be playing each other. So we're going to have a repeat. Who says, who likes parody anyway? Parody is for suckers, right? Okay, so the matchups are Washington versus Portland in Washington on Saturday, 9 a.m., and then Orlando versus Gotham in Orlando Sunday at noon. Those are Pacific times. The winners of those matchups are going to play in the championship on November 22nd. That championship is happening right here in San Jose, 5 p.m. on Saturday, November 22nd.
Oh, sick. Okay.
Okay, and one last note for the NWSL, they've announced the 17th franchise. It's going to be in Atlanta. So the owner is going to be Arthur Blank, who is the owner of the NFL's Atlanta Falcons and MLS's Atlanta United. The expansion fee is going to be $165 million. That's a record for the NWSL. And just a note, Atlanta does have experience with women's soccer in the past. The Atlanta Beat was the name of the prior iterations of women's pro soccer. They were in the WUSA in 2001 to 2003, and then the WPS in 2010 to 12. The last two times, the last two leagues that didn't work for a myriad of reasons. But they're coming back to Atlanta now, and the NWSL is a lot more financially stable than those other two leagues were, obviously. I think Atlanta definitely is positioned themselves well for U.S. soccer in general. They've been investing heavily. It's basically the headquarters for U.S. soccer. There's construction going into the facilities. The whole facility is expected to open right before the Men's World Cup begins in next summer. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, so that's
sweet
soccer. Okay. All right. So I guess that just leaves we didn't get to talk about what happened with the World Series since we last talked.
We didn't talk about Game 3, but I was coming back from Philly when Game 3 started. So I was on a plane flying over Colorado. When that game ended, I was in bed.
Yeah.
So that game went 18 innings. They basically played 8 games in this World Series.
Yep.
But yeah, I just thought that was funny that I literally got to get in PJs and relax, and then the game ended like maybe 10 minutes after I got laid in bed. So it was great. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It was a walk-off there for Freddie Freeman. At that point, they had led the series 2-1. And then game 4, Vladdy made sure that he let Shohei Ohtani know that we may be friends, but I'm going to try and take you deep, which he did. He hit a 2-run home run in the third. Yeah, Ohtani looked like he was, a beatable pitcher at this point. So
yeah, briefly mortal is the words that I put in the show doc. Yeah, he was briefly mortal.
Yeah. So, and then you go to Game 5, and that rookie that the Toronto has, the Trey Yosavage kid. I mean, that kid was crazy. I mean, watching even the series prior where he just blew the doors off of Seattle and they couldn't get a hit to save their life. I think that kid started in like Double-A when the season started, if I'm not mistaken, and made his way to the Major League roster, and obviously on the September roster there. So shout out to him, and that's awesome. I mean, I know the outcome wasn't there, but that was one hell of a pitcher in the World Series. To be a rookie and step up on the biggest stage like that, it was pretty cool to see. So,
and not just a rookie, a guy who's still eligible for rookie honors next year.
Yeah, it's crazy. So then you had Game 6 where Mookie Betts, basically the Dodgers had to win the last 2 games here. So I didn't say, but Game 5, Toronto won it. So we go into Game 6. Mookie Betts had the big 2-run blast in the third. Yamamoto only went 6 innings. One thing I did want to talk about, because I didn't mention it here, on Game 3, I'm forgetting the name of the pitcher, but he had pitched a complete game on Game 2 for the Dodgers. The Dodgers game went so long they're running out of pitchers that
Yamamoto.
Was it Yamamoto? Yamamoto went up and started warming up in the bullpen in that 18th inning game, that's nuts because he had just pitched like the night before. So that was crazy too. But Yamamoto went 6 innings, only allowed 1 run on the hits or on the Blue Jays. So that was electrifying game. And then you go to Game 7 here. 7 had all the makings.
7, we were at the bar.
Yeah.
The night before Sam's wedding. That's the one where we started actually like really paying attention, locked in. Yeah.
Yeah, so the Dodgers are down. Bo Bichette hit a 3-run blast early in that game. But then Miguel Rojas ties it up 4-4 in the bottom of the ninth. Man, the bar we were at, everyone was cheering for the Blue Jays. Obviously, Dodgers not a big ticket over here in the Bay Area, but you could hear a pin needle drop at the bar. Like everyone was super quiet as soon as that happened. So the catch there at the bottom of the bottom of the ninth there, I think it was the rookie center fielder ran over the left fielder. That could have won the game. Like literally he bulldozed over the left fielder, and I'm drawing a blank on names right now. Forgive me right now. Daniel's watching. I'm sorry, but I mean that get was even crazy too. I was just saying, recapping to that whole entire game, like the catch in center field, Miguel Rojas' home run, and then Will Smith gets the 11th inning home run to end the game. Oh my god! And then when they rolled the credits, they played the Drake song. Oh, so good, so good. What a great World Series. That to me, I think was an all-time classic. I did text our buddy Daniel, who's a big Dodgers fan. I texted him congratulations and tell him to go paint the town blue. And man, electrifying. He said he couldn't breathe. He had zero words as to what just happened in this World Series. So
Yeah.
all-time classic, fall classic there.
Yeah, classic that earned the name. So a couple of notes about our former team specifically. They turned on comments for the first time in 655 days, and it went
really well.
exactly as you thought it would.
Of course it did.
Yeah. Maybe they shouldn't have even bothered turning the comments off. Maybe you just take your lumps for a few days and then people just kind of move on with their lives. But now you've let it fester for damn near 2 years. And now we're just going to rip your shit apart for the next 2 years to make up for it.
Are they permanently back on? Or did they turn it back off?
I don't fucking know. But if they
turned
are,
it off.
if they show up and I'm able to comment on something, I'm not following them. But if anything shows up, like if anything stumbles across my feed, I'll make my voice heard. Best believe.
Well, on top of that, the A's first baseman Nick Kurtz, dude, that kid's tall. Like I don't know if you guys have seen him, but I think he's like 6'4", 6'5". He's a big kid. He wins AL Rookie of the Year unanimously. Yeah, we would have loved that.
Shit, we would have loved 3 years ago, man.
Yeah,
we would have been all about this 3 years ago. It breaks my heart.
He'll just be traded next season.
Yeah,
no worries.
Honestly. Yeah, it breaks my heart that I can't that I'm not like so stoked about this. Like
don't worry. Freddie Freeman's getting older. The Dodgers
so
are gonna need a new first baseman anyways.
Yeah. I mean,
it is what it is at this point.
Yeah, it is. It is yeah. I mean, anybody who's been here long enough knows how we feel about this, and it sucks. It we're at the acceptance part, but it still sucks. It is what it is.
I mean, there could always be a headline. So and so has passed away tragically.
Yeah.
Slowly and painfully.
It's not. We're not lucky enough, guys. It's not going to happen.
What's funny is it's been a couple months, but I haven't heard or seen any movement on the sale of the Earthquakes, and we know they're up for sale, and I know it's a long process, but like usually when a franchise is up for sale, these things move. Go ahead, Vince.
Yeah, no. So Joe Lacob was at the Earthquakes game, the last Earthquakes home game of the year, and was a guest of John Fisher's. And like they were like, and Earthquakes, post boards, subreddits, they were all abuzz about that. And obviously nothing has since come of that. But and these things, like you said, these things do take time. he makes the most sense to be a potential buyer. Like it would be it would be the cleanest buy. It would be the most he would be the owner that Earthquakes fans would most want. You just have to look at the scoreboard for what he did with the Warriors
And Valkyries.
I mean, Valkyries is an expansion franchise. It's a little different, but it's still, like seriously, like
They're the most
it's
profitable
the same, but different,
WNBA team ever.
Yeah. No. It's another point in his favor that he can create something out of nothing. He can turn dog shit into fucking gold. So it's certainly, it would be a boon if Joe Lacob could end up buying the San Jose Earthquakes, and we would all benefit greatly. I would I would no longer need pants. I would just run around in my underoos for the next month if that was what happened. I would enjoy I would be so excited if Joe Lacob ended up buying the Earthquakes. But we just have to see. We'll just have to wait and see, man. I'm not going to count on that until it actually happens. For all we know, it's gonna end up being freaking Larry Ellison, and we're gonna
Probably.
It's gonna end up being called Ross Field or something, Jesus. Anyway, okay. So with that, we had 2 weeks to cover, boys, and we got it done in the same amount of time we normally cover 1 week. So I'm really proud of us. Good work. Nice hustle out there, boys. Stick taps for the both of us. For the both of you boys. Just a quick update as we talk. The Warriors are still down they're down 19 points right now. And the Sharks are still down 1 right now as we head toward the end of the second period. So there's your live updates as we go, and there we go, off into the night.
Well, thank you guys for listening to the SVT podcast. Subscribe on YouTube and hit the bell to get alerts when we go live. Also, if you don't have time to listen to the full episode, we put out several segments throughout the week on YouTube. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Threads at SVT Sports Pods. Slide into the DMs. We'd love to interact with all you beautiful people.
Have a good night, everybody.
FJF.
Gute Nacht.